What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and I want to go to episode 3 of my newest series, Rad Memories. Now, it's a series that I created that I talk about different movies or things that I have memories with, but also kind of do reviews at the same time. So a lot of people like this. It's basically like I do a review, but I talk about an item that maybe just has a lot of sentimental value to me, or some stories growing up that have to do with the item that I'm talking about. And today is no different. We are going to be talking about 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a 1974 horror film that could be considered one of the greatest horror films of all time. Now, I've talked about this movie quite a bit on my channel. I actually even did a full physical media history with deadpit.com talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all the different editions that came out of physical media that we've collected through the years. So now, kind of piggybacking off of that, obviously some things have come out since we've done that stream, but I wanted to talk about this movie not only because I do have a lot of memories with it, but because the brand new 4K Steelbook from Dark Sky just came out today, and I want to unbox this with you guys now. But before I do that, I want to talk about my memories with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it starts, like a lot of my things do, is with my uncle, who again got me into the horror genre. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, believe it or not, was the first horror movie I had ever laid my eyes on, and it was because of him. Now, I did tell this story once before on Tabata Vision's channel because he did a full Texas Chainsaw Massacre day, and I was a guest on Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day talking about my experience and my memories with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So if you did not catch that, go check out his channel there. I think it might be one of the last episodes that he did throughout that day. And myself and a couple other creators had little cameos talking about their history with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I want to bring that story here before I unbox this new Steelbook. But like I said, growing up, my uncle got me into horror. And I remember being a little kid and going to my grandmother's, that's where he lived at the time, and he had boxes of VHS tapes. Boxes. He had ones that he recorded, ones that he didn't. But I can remember him telling me about his favorite movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And when I heard that title, it was just mind-blowing to me because, again, I was a real little kid. Probably, I don't know, if I had to guess, I might have been like 6, maybe. But again, that's just a guess. But what I remember is that title, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As a 6-year-old, you hear something like that and your mind is blown. You're not sure exactly what that is, what it means. And I remember him taking out the VHS tape and popping it in. And the things that have been embedded in my brain ever since was, I remember Franklin getting out of the van and having to go pee and then rolling down the hill in his wheelchair. Like, that stuck with me forever. And the big one was the hitchhiker getting picked up. Now, I can remember watching that, him getting picked up, and Franklin says, "I think we just picked up Dracula." And I can remember that line so vividly because my father walked in shortly after, and Hitchhiker was still in the car, and he said, "Don't show him this, take this off," and, you know, my uncle turned it off. And from that day forward, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and that scene has been embedded in my brain ever since, until I was old enough to finally check this thing out. But for years and years and years, I thought that Dracula was in the back of that van, not understanding much about any of the context behind it. But all I remember is them saying, "I think we picked up Dracula." There was a guy with black hair. So again, for a long time growing up, I assumed Dracula was in the back of that van. It wasn't until I got the Media Home Entertainment VHS from my uncle that I finally saw this movie. And man, I absolutely fell in love with it. It was a go-to for me. It was a movie I thought was appropriate for date nights. Like, every time I hung out with a girl for the first time, I was like, "Let's go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre." I don't know why I thought that was the best idea, but I just loved that movie and I felt like everybody needed to see it. Now, again, like I said, I have a ton of editions of this movie. I hate double dipping, triple dipping on movies nowadays, but specific movies I'll let pass. Halloween is one, Friday the 13th is another one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is definitely one as well. So if you watch that video of us going through the physical media history and you see all the stuff that we have, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. But before I dive into the Steelbook, I want to talk about Steelbooks and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's had many. Now, this is honestly one of the first Steelbooks I'd ever got in my collection. I think it was either this or the Grindhouse ones. It was like a Best Buy exclusive, but That was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on this DVD Steelbook. So look at this. It was so iconic back in the day, this gold Steelbook. This thing was beautiful. You got the back. It had tons of special features on it. Look at this. Dark Sky did it as well. 2 discs. Gonna see what's in here. Got a little booklet, but you got that image there. Really, really cool. This was one of my favorite releases in my collection for a long, long time. Again, the DVD days were like my pinnacle of collecting. I was insane around that time. I was getting everything, multiple editions, movies I never heard of. I mean, I have so many DVDs still to this day. And this was one that was always one of my favorites when it came out. Now, as we roll on to Blu-ray, I do have this, which surprisingly, I didn't even open this because I do own this on other Blu-ray formats as well. But I remember seeing the artwork. I really liked it. And this was a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't open it, so I don't think I'm going to do that at this point to show you what's inside. But I don't think there's much on here. It doesn't seem like there's much as far as special features. I'm not sure if everything was ported over from here. This doesn't show me a lot on the back. It just shows a couple different commentaries. This has a lot of stuff on the back. So I'm not sure exactly what was ported over to here. But the Blu-ray looked pretty good. I remember the Blu-ray itself. Like I said, I do have other Blu-ray editions of this movie. And it did look really good than what we were used to. But again, this movie was shot the way it was. And it's hard to really upgrade these things as far as the quality transfer. So that brings me to another Steelbook, which is a 4K Steelbook from, I think, Germany. Turbine, I think, released this one. And this one was pretty good. I remember liking the way it looked on this edition. Again, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I do feel like this was the best it's ever looked, was this Turbine edition. And you do have 2 discs in there. You got the original, like, Media Home Entertainment. And then you got this cool image here. I think Jason Edmonston did this one, I believe. I do have this on a poster, screen print poster hanging in my gym, this image here of the van. It also had an armadillo on it and stuff like that. But you get the 4K. Again, I don't remember what was on here as far as features, but this was from Turbine. Again, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Steelbook form. And that takes us to the brand new Dark Sky Steelbook. Now, to be honest, I forgot I ordered this thing. I thought I ordered only Second Sight. So I ordered the Second Sight 4K. That was the one I chose because Second Sight to me has done no wrong so far. And their editions are beautiful. They're big, thick editions with all cool little things inside. And I knew I needed that one because being a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan and physical media collector, I knew I needed that awesome addition to add to my collection, or I would have got a lot of FOMO not having it. So this is the Steelbook that arrived today that I didn't even realize I pre-ordered. And I will say this image, classic image on a white Steelbook, it's beautiful. Beautiful image on the Steelbook. I'm a big poster guy, original artwork guy. So this to me is really, really cool. I'm going to unwrap this now because I do plan on checking this thing out probably tonight to see how it looks. All right, so here it is. It looks really nice. It's got a nice gloss to it, especially here on the door. It's got almost like a little sheen. A nice shine. This is really, really nice looking. It's got that original art. You know, the memory is this poster was hanging in my room growing up. My uncle had given me a 1-sheet. Stupid me could not find a frame to fit it, so I like cut it to fit in a smaller frame and completely ruined a 1-sheet. It was rolled, and I cannot believe I did that. I am thinking about purchasing a new one because I love this image so much. And my uncle does, I think, have another 3 more 1-sheets of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he really wants me to take 1 or 2. And again, I'm thinking about it because they're not cheap, but they are an investment, and they are super collectible and probably always will be collectible. But yeah, so I think I'm going to probably end up getting another 1-sheet of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The only thing I don't like is the back is just plain white. That kind of sucks. They could have did anything on that, but that's kind of a bummer. But inside, let's take a look. Ooh, we've got 2 discs here, feature film and a bonus disc. And it looks like we got a poster. And you got, hey, Leatherface, get Grandpa. You got Ed Neal over there, the Hitchhiker. I love the Hitchhiker. We got a poster. Very cool. You got the original art here. If you flip this around, you got that other artwork, which I love this. This was another Jason Edmondson print. Did release a full screen print of this through Hero Complex Gallery, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I do remember when these came out. It's such a beautiful image. Very, very cool with the eye there. Very, very cool. Jason just does some fantastic work. So it's cool that they got him to commission this slip cover on the other edition, and the poster art. Really, really cool. He does a heck of a job. So let me see what we got from features on this thing. There's a lot here. I'm wondering if there's anything new. 4 feature commentaries. These seem like they're the same. Yeah, so it seems like the commentaries are the same. New feature-length documentary, The Legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, wow, that's new. Cool. Cinefamily presents Friedkin Hooper, a conversation with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre between William Friedkin and Tobe Hooper. That's cool. Is that not on this? Oh, that's not. That's another new one. That's really, really cool. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shocking Truth. Let me see. That one is on here. A tour of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house with Gunner. Let me see if that is on this. It is. So it seems like everything else is ported over from this edition with a new feature-length documentary and that Friedkin Hooper conversation. That's really, really cool. So again, you do have new features on this. So guys, this just came out from Dark Sky Films. Like I said, next month I will be getting the Second Sight box set. So I'm going to save my real review on how it looks and sounds and stuff when I showcase that edition, because I do think that this is the same transfer as that one. But yeah, guys, I mean, again, I'm not into the double dipping at this point, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I've got to give it to him. This does look really nice. And the next time you see me talking about the 4K, I'll let you know how the transfer looks. But guys, I hope you enjoy this newest episode of Rad Memories, because I do have a lot of memories with this film, and I'm glad I was able to showcase the Steelbook history of my collection with this, because this movie has hit Steelbook many, many times, all the way back from DVD to Blu-ray to 4K. I also know that Turbine did a couple different editions with theirs as well, utilizing like the media home entertainment artwork, which I love, and I wouldn't mind having that, but now getting this in the Second Sight, like, I don't know if I need that anymore. I'm not a completist when it comes to Texas Chainsaw to an extent, but I like to have all the real cool editions. And we do talk about it in our show on the Physical Media History. As I said, there's one edition that I never bought that kind of still eats away at me, and that was the Black Maria truck. I think it was the Blu-ray edition. I had bought the disc, but I just didn't get the truck because I was like, where am I going to put it? And the thing ended up skyrocketing in price. Well, Amazon just had it for like $40, and I did pick it up. It's not here yet, but I will showcase it and do an unboxing when I get it, just because it was the one big edition I never had. Is it $40 anymore? I don't know. It could be. So check Amazon now if you're interested in that Texas Chainsaw Black Maria set. It could still be $40, but I'll do an unboxing when it gets here and let you know my thoughts when I have it in person. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out episode 3 of Rad Memories. Let me know if you're still enjoying this series, where I kind of add more personal stories to unboxings or reviews. If I do have personal stories about the item I want to talk about, it's definitely going to be in this series. So I appreciate you guys checking out. Let me know your history with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Are you a big fan? For some reason, I feel like for a movie that everybody once loved, I find that a lot of people now are kind of turning on it and saying it's not as good as everybody says. Are you one of those people? Because I still think this is a masterpiece, and I'm just curious to see if you do as well. So let me know if you grabbed this edition. Are you waiting for Second Sight? Do you have any of these steelbooks I showcased? I would love to know. Leave it down in the comments below. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're into horror, nostalgia, physical media, or pop culture, or anything like that, because we always got something fun going on, and I hope you enjoy the content. This is Garrett at Born to be Rad, and like always, stay